Hi guys, I'm working on this RB head I've got here for the Skyline, and I bought a tool. I wanted to get all the valves and everything out to take it to the machine shop to get it decked, and I've bought this Leslie tool, and this thing is like $70. From everything I read online, it should work. So when I got the thing, I went and tried it out, and as you can see, well, we'll go with the empty one here. It doesn't fit. It's about 1 millimeter off. I'm going to have to take some material off the outside here to even get this thing to work. I tried using the hammer and socket method. It is a pain, and I don't feel like sitting here and slamming on this thing with a socket and extension to try to hopefully pop those collars out. The only other thing I've got is these here, and just got to pull those out, and then I'm going to take this thing down, and hopefully it works. Here's the tool that I bought. You can see this part here is a lot more shiny. I've been using some sandpaper. I made a little device. I tapped the inside of this thing. Had to go out and buy a tapped the inside of this thing, ran a bolt down through it, and cut the head off, and chucked it up in my drill press here. So I've just been spinning it like this, and then using like a long piece of sandpaper on the back and just sanding it down to the size I need. It's not really the best way of doing these things, but as you can see, I put some time into it, probably like 20 minutes, and now I'm down to this, what I got here, and I can just unscrew it. Because I don't have a lathe, which would have been the proper way to be doing this. So now this is what I have. In theory, you're supposed to be able to hit the top of this, and there's a magnet inside there, and it should make the retainer come out and stick inside there. Let's see how this works. I've got to put a little bit of a chamfer on the inside of here because this is actually too small. Like, the outside was too big, the inside's too small. So I got to try to fix this too. Here's the top of the retainer. As you can see, the top of the retainer is just a tad bit too big to fit inside there. So I'm going to go take a little bit of metal out of there, and then it should fit just perfect on top of there, so we could get this done here real fast. Once I got everything done, I'll be back, and I'll show you how well my tool works, if it works at all. Hey guys, I just finished up making the tool. I got my bevel in there, so the retainer will fit in there nicely, and I got the taper on it, kind of like how I wanted it. So it fits into the groove pretty well. To get these, to get the valves out, first you got to take these, your tappets out here. Real easy to do. And just use your magnet here. I've got a little tray over here I'm putting all these things in. It just makes life a little bit easier. Oops, and I was going to start at the back, but I might as well start at the front, I guess. This is my number 1 cylinder, so I've got everything marked where I know where I'm going to put it. And just take your time with this sort of stuff. Do it one at a time. I'm just using my dead blow hammer. Put it on the top here. Gonna get everything marked up or lined up, and just one swipe. There's the the top on there, and then there's the keepers. So it makes things pretty smooth now. And here's the spring. I think I'm going to order some dual valve springs on these things, just for peace of mind, and probably putting newer ones in wouldn't be a bad idea. And you can see the bottom of these is where the tighter coil is, and then it gets spaced out higher at the top, so it always goes down like that. And then also on these, there is a spacer down at the bottom here. It's kind of hard to get up. See if I can't grab it. With the oil in there sometimes, it makes it kind of like a suction, so they're hard to get out sometimes. Well, that one doesn't want to come, so we'll just pull another one out. And there's also a shim inside these. You don't really want to lose those because that's actually what dictates your clearances between your tappet here and your camshaft. So if you got a really loud one, you might want to check that. That should that'd probably be indicative of having a loud drivetrain. This is probably going to be a noisy drivetrain anyways. There's nothing hydraulically damping them. Didn't get them all. Still didn't get it. There we go. I also forgot to mention, when you're doing this, you might want to stick a rag into the cylinder you're working on, even though I didn't have one in there. It'll keep the valves from popping around, so it just kind of makes it a little bit easier for you to get them out. Let's see if I can get that shim out of this number 1 valve 2 here. It doesn't look like she wants to come out. Alrighty. Trust me, they're in there. Let me try it on this one. Alrighty. So that's pretty much all you gotta do for all the 24 valves. It's pretty easy stuff. Nothing real hard. Once I'm done with that, I'm going to pull out the valves, take out the old seals, and this thing's going to the machine shop. Hopefully my head is okay. I do have this over here, which is a little concerning to me. It's not, I mean, I can't really catch anything with my fingernail, but it's more of a duller finish than all the rest of them, which kind of concerns me a little bit. And I don't know, I guess both of them kind of have it. Hopefully it's no big deal and they can just polish up just fine, or hopefully the machine shop says it's a good thing. And then I'm also going to be popping this coolant, or this freeze plug out right here if you can see it. That's going to be for an oil drain out of the head. These RB motors have a problem with keeping oil up in the head and having oil starvation. So I'm gonna do that while I have everything apart, and it's pretty easy. All you gotta do is put the new fitting in and drill and tap 2 holes for M6 1.0 pitch. So it shouldn't be terribly difficult. I'll show you guys what I got after I get this thing tore down. I'm gonna knock this freeze plug here out so I can get that oil drain for the head in here for the RB26. Just in case you've never seen me knock out a drain plug before, this is kind of how you do it. You just use a flat-headed screwdriver and give her a good whack. And we want it going in there. It's off to the side here. It might come out. Generally, they're supposed to just rotate. I've never had one pop in on me. Let's see if I can't get it out. There we go. It's out. So, where's my other light at? So you can see, this is just another gallery that holds oil. So when it gets high, it'll just come dribbling out of here. And it's going to have a return down to the oil pan. So, yep. That's how you do that. Once I get the part, I'll drill and tap it, and I'll film that for you guys too, so you know kind of exactly what it looks like.